be some type of little chute, like an exhaust valve, to be on dryers for the heat to go out. You know, that heat removal chute that goes to the outside, and you can walk past people's house and you know their dryer is going because you can smell the clothes coming out of it. Well, that's what it looks like to me. But anyway, I want you to look at this. Keep this in your mind as we keep going, all right? Let's keep going. Okay, now you see that was a black face, right? You can see that obviously that this is a melinated man. And now, if I had this turned up, this guy is saying this is the only statue. He say this is the only statue that they could find.
There's also some type of a life support pack that's on his chest.
He said this statue right here was the only one they could find.
And the head is clearly enclosed by a skull cap similar to modern-day astronauts.
Let's take my word for it. He said
here,
that.
in my opinion, is nothing else but depictions of physical extraterrestrial encounters hundreds, and yes, even thousands of years ago.
There is considerable evidence linking the Mayans and the Olmecs to extraterrestrial beings. You have at Levanta, many of the Olmecs wearing curious masks. Also at Tikal.
This is what I mean. Look at these steps back here. This is the civilizations that they had. Now, if you think about, I want you to think about Washington, D.C., all right? The capital and all that. See, those stairs that you see now, when you go there and you walk up all those stairs, you can't get a European credit for those stairs because here they go right here. And they were in Africa too. But they kept this from us in school. They didn't tell us in school that the African men and women, the melanated man and woman, are all over the planet making these structures. Our Washington, D.C. courthouse and everything that we have downtown, all over this country, as far as a part of the municipal structure, is all takeoffs from the way the ancient pharaohs and the Dogon launched people that came here to the Americas. That's who it all is, believe it or not. All right, with the Moors, left West Africa and came down here to the Americas. Please believe that. And built all these structures here. Okay? Later became Muslims and all that old crazy shit, all right? I mean, but later became everything but that, who they were in the beginning. People of Lemuria and all that now running around here calling themselves Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Chicanos, niggas, you name it. Everything but trying to be attached to being the true master builders of all this masonry right here. Okay, now, what then went down is that they sitting up trying to close the door on you. Now, I just showed you the statue of the little man. They say that was the only statue that they could find out of this whole civilization. All this stonework that they left, all these buildings everywhere, and these guys want to tell you they couldn't find any statues anywhere. You know they took the shit, you know they jacked the shit and got it hid somewhere, okay? All right, we know that. Like I'm telling you, they came here and they fought these people on this land so much, and what they wanted was the women. This because they were diabolical. They had a badass plan. Listen what their plan was, because they had did it in Africa. They had made Arabs already, and they came over here and made some more Arabs, but they called them a different name. They called them Mexican. But they just know how they could take over, kill all the men, rape all the women, and after 100 years, 200 years, after brainwashing them, there'll be a whole nationalism of people who will follow a religious sector, a religious propaganda, a religious dogma that was given to the small children. This is what they did. Now, that's the reason why you all Catholics and Christians, and they all are religion of the white man, because the white man came to the land. We were all walking all over these stone structures, institutes of knowledge and learning, and having interaction with the stars and the sun. This is how bright and smart we were, providing for each and every one, all of us, making sure that we worked in harmony with each other to keep each other sustained and keep balance amongst us, keep everything clean, keep the water clean, keep the air clean, keep yourself clean. Everything, including your language, was so monitored and kept in a divine essence. That's why I tell you, I know that I shouldn't be using a lot of profanity, and I don't have to use profanity, but I wanted to use profanity because I wanted to really bring it home to the people that was going to be able to get it. The other people, regardless to what type of demeanor I brought to them, they was going to be getting pleasure out of living the way they were living, and they just going to stay that way and keep on depending on all that Bible bullshit to justify all of their hate and unjust actions that they have toward non-Christian people or non-white people or non-black people or non-female or non-male or too tall or too fat or don't have a good enough job or live on that side of town. All of that dichotomization came from these people who hid the stones. Like that big ass heads that they hid forever. Then the little statue that you see that they tell you we only found one. The black man with the little flying apparatus, okay? They said earlier the white guy who was bringing the demonstration about that statue and talk about it around it, he said that that statue was the only statue they could find, and we know we can find over 25, 30, 50, 100 abandoned structures, or I should say 100 pillaged and plundered structures. This is what they did. They actually murdered all the people of all these structures and put them into chains. All right. When you see that movie called, you know that movie, they did it in South America. Well, it'll come back to me later. But anyway, back to the point. All these people of all these lands, all over the Americas, Mesoamerica, Central America, South America, Mexico. They came in, went to all these places, took all these people into bondage, made them all become slaves on their own soil, and then blew a smoke screen up your ass and told you that they brought us all here from Africa. Well, they brought a lot of people here from Africa, but they tricked us. They enslaved us on our own land. I'm telling you, that's what they did. They did not bring all our asses from Africa. They brought a lot of people from Africa because there was people coming from Africa to here all the time anyway, because we was exchanging knowledge about astrology and sun and everything. That's what we were doing. Bringing food to each other. We recognize each other as family. You don't see no history of no war between the Africans and the people that was here in this soil. Nowhere. Nowhere on any hieroglyph wall is it written that the black man and woman of Africa got in ships and came into America and fought the black man and woman here. I can show you where they teamed up with each other and fought these white people here. But let's go on. I want to point that out to you. They enslaved everybody and turned your cities off. All these stone cities that you see right here. They actually turned them off, shut them down just like they did our temples in Egypt. And made us start worshiping Islam and temples of Muslims and Jews and shit. You know, to this day, that's what you got over there. It's Muslim temples and Jewish synagogues and shit, okay? And this is how they get down everywhere they go. They take over and force their religion on you and make your shit become dilapidated. Just like Detroit look right now today is the reason why these places right here look dilapidated like that. Because they come in and use their political bullshit and their guns to make people die. So all these people died. The parents, the elderly, got murdered and killed after they worked them forever to build their cities. So as these cities died, Boston, Virginia, Philadelphia, and New York, all those cities grew. Why? Because they took the people that otherwise would have been here building their own cities and maintaining their own thing. They took them, took all their children, bred their children over and over and over, and as they grew up, they kept giving them propaganda about them being Catholics and Christians. But the whole history and the story about them having this existence here on this land before these people got here got totally eradicated and washed out of the whole picture. So now they give you a bunch of shit about aliens flying around and everything because they want to avoid telling you the flat out truth that, you know, you are some very powerful sun people, and the sun is a very amazing thing. It is a God. It can actually turn on you people and make you become gods too. You can have interactions with it. You can actually fly spaceships. You can astral project your own spiritual energy into the space and get into space vessels and fly them. Sar can tell you about that because he does it himself. All right, now listen. All this information that I'm dropping on everybody is not to make the people on the earth hate each other. It's to make you guys have a better understanding of why you have hated each other so much. And it's not to make you hate these people either. Because see, the thing that's inside of their brains was put in their brains when they were babies too. And half of them don't know that they pushing lies and bullshit. And the ones that do know they pushing lies and bullshit, they think it's just a subtle, this is my one time that I'm doing it. But see, your one time that you're doing it with everybody else one time that they do it is what perpetuates the white supremacy bullshit. If you do it, even the thought of trying to lie and cover up somebody's history and denationalize them and make them be somebody that is not renowned for all this great contribution to the world while you sit around and enjoy the privilege of the earth because you murdered them and filled their head up with your religious dogma bullshit, there is something very, very wrong and due of some severe universal punishment behind anybody that can do that. And then murdered all the birds and everything on the earth and fucked up the water and poisoned the air and poisoned the soil and still got circumstances on the earth where you create people to go down the road of poverty and be derelicts and failures and losers. Why you do that to yourself? Because the only thing you set up for yourself after you do that to someone else is circumstances of doom and failure and desolation and severe punishment. So let's go on because I want to show you.
Look like
So here we go right here. Etching in stone from early day our ability to go into the universe. This is early beginning of the technique, as you can see, of people making breathing apparatuses. All right? Right there in stone.
face mask with respiratory.
In stone. You can see there's some type of little zoomorphic animal character right there. See, if they was doing this type of work on this stone in stone, they was that detailed on the wall. You know they made a bunch of little small remnants of who they were. What civilization could be these type of skilled stone masons? And then you don't have not one stone artifact, except for that one little one that he showed you. And they were so black that the one that he did, and even this face you can see is black. Look at that nose. Okay, you can see melanin. That's what I be trying to say. It's foolish for people to walk around the earth wherever you at and have the nerves to hate the melanin pigment when the melanin pigment is your true connection, your junction, your bloodline, your umbilical cord, your severe mailbox, okay, your route and your supply line to everything in the cosmos, which happens to be black too. So the common sense will tell you you can't hate black. You're supposed to be trying to get as much black as you can.
Raiders.
Okay, now here's another one in stone, right? Now that little black statue that we just saw with the black face is exactly what you're looking at right here. Because now you got the statue on top of the head, which looks like a bird, okay? You see what I'm saying? And you can see that here is his face right here. And this is definitely headgear that he was holding in his hand before. And he's definitely holding on to some type of, look like control knobs here. Okay? Simulation of someone in a position that might be synonymous with flying in some sort of vessel. Okay? You can see the layout of the nose, the mouth right there. There's the headgear. Okay? And then, of course, the body. Laid on the bed. Or some type of sleeping apparatus. All these statues right here, but they say they couldn't find any. And look at how colossal some of them are, including that